So I believe today is day 4 of the 14-day drink beer, lose weight challenge. Sharpie, my dog, is being distracting again, so I try to work on that or whatever. But this video is going to be about something called pranayama, which is basically, to translate, means go get it, Sharpie, go get it. It means breath retention, essentially. That, so holding your breath or whatever. At the end of the Tumo, or Wim Hof method, or whatever you want to call it, there's kapalbhati and Vastrika. They're both retention or breath retention exercises, and so is actually the Tumo or the Wim Hof method. So it's basically 3 different pranayama that makes this work while you're doing a stomach vacuum and while you're doing, exercising and raising your body heat and stuff like that. Sharpie, go get it. And then that's where you're burning your calories. Your body fighting to bring the temperature up, burn off that energy and that extra fat and stuff like that, and also convert your white fat cells into brown fat, which converts directly into heat. Anyways, so first pranayama, with the after the Tumo, you do your kapalbhati, and the way you do that is, which it's actually kapalbhati pranayama, if you want to say it in Hindi or Gujarati, whatever Indian language it is, but one of those two. Anyways, what that means is basically, or how you do that, I want to go into more detail on it. You just finished your Tumo, and now you're doing that part of it where you're just breathing through your nose. On that part of it, the basics are that you inhale and exhale through the nose, but not really. You don't use your mouth at all, and Sharpie, knock it off. And got treats in my pocket, but I'm running out. Seriously, stop. Sharpie, go get it. Basically, you're not really using your mouth at all, and then whenever you're inhaling and exhaling through your nose, most of the time you're actually just exhaling, and then the inhale is actually an automatic response. So if you can hear it, or if it's even, for instance, this is wrong. That's wrong. Even, still wrong, because it's even. Your inhale is lasting as long and is just as powerful as your exhale. You don't want either of those things to be true. You want it to mostly be an exhale, and then the inhale should be an automatic thing that just happens. That you're not actually inhaling. It just happens. So when you do that, you're focusing all your energy on the exhale. So it's just like that. Whenever you do that, you'll find, especially once you get that certain pattern down, you can't really hear the inhale. You can barely hear it if you have really good hearing, and even when you hear it, it's really short and it's not as it's not as loud, it's not as powerful. You can just barely hear it when you're really focusing on it, because it's an automatic thing. You're not actually consciously inhaling, and you're not even physically inhaling. Well, you are, but just barely. The reason is you're trying to get all that carbon dioxide out of your system so you can replace it with oxygen, but that's getting technical. To do the actual exercise, you do that, you just sort of, so it sounds like you're just doing nothing but exhaling. I don't know if you can hear that or not, so just, but whenever you're doing that, same thing as with any yoga or any meditation or any whatever. The inhale, you expand your stomach out. The exhale, you suck your stomach in. Since you're not really inhaling, you don't have to focus so much on expanding your stomach out. Most of the time with the other meditations that I'm going to be telling you about, most of your concentration on your diaphragm is going to be on the expansion whenever you inhale. I'm playing with the dog over here if you're wondering what I'm doing. But with this certain pranayama, what you're doing, you're not really focusing on that inhale and the expansion out. You're focusing on the exhale and the sucking in. So, because that's mostly what it is, just that. At the end of it is the actual pranayama with the actual breath retention. So, you do your 36 breaths. It's supposed to be 30 to 40, but with my counting method, I always do 36. At the end of it, you basically, you do take a big inhale. So you're doing the, and then at the end of it, you inhale really big, expand the stomach out like you do anytime you inhale, and well, while meditating. And then, well, really you should do it all the time because it's the correct way to breathe. But anyways, you're expanding it out. For that, you inhale, you visualize filling up your stomach, but what you're actually doing is expanding your diaphragm. So you're breathing in, you're expanding it out, and then when you're doing that, then at the end of it, you suck in like that. But see how that's the natural response. See, I sucked in while I breathed in. That's wrong. That's the way you're going to naturally breathe, and it's actually really bad for you, especially your diaphragm and stuff. What you're actually trying to do is breathe out and suck in. So, you breathe out, suck in, and then at this point, it's a good point to, since this is mostly for weight loss, it's a good point to work in your stomach vacuum, because you're already sucking in, so you might as well vacuum. Bring the belly button as far to the spine as you possibly can. Now this is, with this pranayama and with the other one I'm going to show you, basically you don't want to tuck the chin in and lock what's called the third bandha, or I don't know how to pronounce that, but anyways, the throat right there, you don't want to lock that. Whenever you exhale, suck in, you're going to look straight out. Whenever and you want to make sure your spine is correctly aligned and stuff like that, and your chest is out, but you want to do that with your face straight out until you can't stand it anymore. In fact, you should feel that gasp reflex, and you should fight that for a little bit. Try to make it 30 seconds, same with the tumo, and then it's going to be harder though on this one because you're not getting as much oxygen. You're mostly depleting your oxygen by breathing out most of the time, or depleting your carbon dioxide, but you're not getting much of an inhale, so you're not getting a whole lot of oxygen into your system, so it's harder during the kapalbhati to hold that exhale for 30 seconds, but try to go as long as you can, and definitely push past the gasp reflex as long as you can, and then once you push past that, then you do your inhale, again all through the nose, expand the stomach out, and at this point, then it's okay to lock the chin down. But you mostly want to do that in the Bhastrika, but for the sake of this, you can, if you're going to lock that third lock right there, you can, because there's the third lock, the second lock, and the first lock, but if you're going to engage the locks to build up even more heat, which is, I'll talk about it in another video, but if you are going to do that, that is the time to do it. If you do it on the inhale, it'll totally screw you, so you don't want to do that. But if you're going to do that, then you do it then. You got all the air in, it's starting to move up, you'll start to feel maybe a panicky, I need to breathe feeling right here. Swallow, like swallow your spit or whatever, and push it down, and then that, after you push it down, as it's going down, you move your chin in to lock it, and then as that's going down, it'll push that feeling all the way into your stomach. You don't usually do that on the kapalbhati part though, you usually do it on the Bhastrika. So I'll talk about the Bhastrika part.